Procrastination is an emotional regulation problem. It's not a time management problem. It's the relationship you have with the boogeyman. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to address it. That bully called debt is waiting for you behind that door. And you refuse to open that door because you think avoiding it and not paying attention to it, it's going to go away. I have news for you. It's not going to go away. And that's something that the minute I fucking started addressing, I put a name on procrastination. This is what I'm afraid of. I'm putting a name on it. Once I did that, Rich, it's like the doubt monster. That doubt started going away as I started feeding the solution. I started chipping away at it. And I think money and procrastination go together because it cripples you. And if you ignore it, it's not going to go away.
Yeah, those are great. And I'm careful with the word procrastination because I feel like I find myself procrastinating all the time sometimes. Like there's certainly a happy medium between like taking a rest and taking breaks in between things. Like we certainly don't want to reach burnout. But if you have an issue and you have a crisis and you have debt or you don't have a job and you are procrastinating, like you have no business sitting on the couch, my boy. Like you got to get up and tackle this issue.
Yeah, I believe, Rich, I know you said what you just said, but you're one of the most productive and accomplished people I know. So I think somewhere in your hindbrain, you think you're not doing shit, but you actually are. But yeah. I think a lot of the anxiety comes from standing still.
Yeah.
And not doing anything, but knowing that you have to do something.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when you're in your 20s, I think you're hoping someone saves you. You're hoping that your parents come in and help you pay off that debt. Or you're hoping that your friend will tell you, hey, here's this job opportunity, come work for me. And you're looking around you to try to see if someone can help you out of this situation. And you're procrastinating and not doing anything to move you in the direction of solving for that issue. And that just goes to that goes to like the just becoming more mature about your situation, bro. And
Rich, you this is actually funny, but it's not funny. Story in my 20s about not maturing and hoping somebody will save me. These are two things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
This is off the dome. I did not have this in my notes. If you want to talk about life whipping my ass in my 20s and my bad habits catching up to me, I think about one of the saddest moments of my life when I did my income tax. And they had earmarked $3,000 that I owed someone. Won't say exactly what it is. And these motherfuckers were gonna come and get it whether I allowed them or not. And I remember filing my income taxes one year and I was getting away with a loop that I thought I found. And on year 3, when I was supposed to get an X amount of dollars, let's say $1,000 back, not only did they take my $1,000, but they also found out when I tried to deposit into my bank account that this was my bank account now. And they emailed me with my bank account information saying, we now have your bank account. We took the $1,000 you thought you were gonna get, and we will be expecting a payment on the other $2,000 you owe us in the next 180 days. If not, we'll be taking these actions. Back in my 20s, $1,000 was enough to keep me alive for a month. Knowing that I wasn't getting that money and they were on my body scared the shit out of me. And it was the rudest awakening that not only was nobody not going to come and save me, but I needed to save myself. So that was another big moment in my life where I was embarrassed because I made plans with that money. I told somebody I was going to do something with that money I was going to get. Little did I know the government was like, oh no, bitch, we got plans with that money. That's our money. So yeah, that was a rude awakening about not managing my money in my 20s for sure.
Just at 21 years old, I stopped making payments on that car loan that I took over from my ex's parents.
You never broke that down. How did that, you just stopped paying it?
I stopped paying it. I had a really big 6'5", 300-pound repo man come take the car along with all of my possessions away.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Yeah, wait, did you see him in person? You gotta tell the story. Tell the story.
No. Laugh at my pain. I saw him through the window. I was like, holy shit. I was gonna run down and be like, stop, don't take my car. Actually, I did, now that I recall, I did go down and I was like, hey, that's my car. He was like,
was he a lot bigger in person?
Oh my God, bro. It was like, I was like, oh my God, this guy is very big.
So I never heard somebody say a repo story. So what, they just keep reaching out to you and then eventually they take it?
I think it's like after 3 months they come and they hire like a third party company to come and just take the vehicle, and they have a machine that if you have it parked, it'll literally like move it to the side and then just pick that bitch up on a tow truck. But the dude took my car. He was like, "Here's the number you need to call to try to get your car back or make your payments or collect your personal belongings."
Or if
Um,
not, you could fight me.
or you could fight me, which I was not prepared to do.
I'm not prepared to make a payment on this car or fight him. Hey, actually, the good advice here is two: financial and physical. You want to be financially stable so your car doesn't get taken, but physically prepared to fight a repo man. You got to pick one.
Yeah, bro. But listen, in all seriousness, man, like there's a lot about being a young man and in your 20s that matters and that you carry over into your 30s. This is why we're sharing these like funny but painful stories about things we went through in our 20s,
Yeah.
because there's a teachable moment in all of us, right? There's things about your current circumstance and situation that you can modify, and hopefully you don't have to learn from these failures, like the things that we've been through. And we're saying all this, bro, because we want our audience, if you're tuning into our audio podcast or our video YouTube channel, we want you to be motivated to better your life. And if you can avoid some of the pitfalls that life has set for you and all these traps that are set for a 20-year-old to fail, we're hoping that we shine a little light on how to navigate around those things.
Yeah, Rich. And the one last thing I wanted to say is once you see the truth, when it comes to bad habits in your younger years, let's say hypothetically you had some pretty shitty habits in your late teenage years and you have bad habits in your 20s. One thing I noticed in my 30s is that once you see the truth, once you feel the truth about your situation, once the debt collector hits you up enough times, or you go to run up some stairs to playfully try to catch your girlfriend and you're out of breath. That's the truth. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. And a lot of that truth comes from you knowing, damn, I didn't prioritize taking care of this bad habit a long time ago. And now I have to pay the debt. You cannot run from the truth. It will always be there.